Hey, what's going on, everybody? We are here for Financial Fitness Friday. I'm here with my co-host Dave. Dave, what's going on, brother?
Jonathan, I am great, pal. How are you, buddy?
Doing well.
Awesome, man. Good to hear.
Still all fired up from the summit. That was an amazing summit.
Look
We
good.
uh, we learned from a lot of like the guy that has the number one restaurant in the world, and then the founder of Tommy John.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, they were great actually. All world. So a lot of this comes into play in what we're going to talk about today. All right. Everyone always talks about how to get better, how to invest, how to make more. And there's one thing that is universal, whether you have a six-figure business, a seven-figure business, eight-figure business, nine-figure business, or you're working, you're working your normal 9 to 5. All right. And it's one thing that kind of ties it all together that anybody can invest in at any point and make the highest yielding return. Right? I never talk about a lot. I try not to give people financial advice, but this is universal. Right? Investing in yourself, investing in skill sets, investing in education, but practical education. I'm not talking about going to college and taking basket weaving 101 or something like that. All right. What I'm talking about is investing to learn new skills, to make yourself more valuable, to be able to actually produce more. Those are the little things that if you start doing regularly, and it doesn't cost much, right? You don't have to spend $15,000 to go to a summit. Although, if you can do it, I highly recommend it. And if you can't, you can still go and pick out a book and read that book on a skill set that you might be deficient in, right? I'll give you an example. I do it with a lot of marketing, right? A lot of marketing. I am not very skilled at marketing. I want to learn more. I want to be able to support my team. So that's what I try to learn about and read. I read books on copy, books on running ads. You name it, that's what I do. Okay. So that is a basic starting point for everybody that anybody can afford to get a book, right? And there's levels of it. Is it a podcast? Is it something like this? Right? The main thing is you want to and need to consistently listen to content, consistently listen or read books and hone these skills because these skills will make you more valuable to the marketplace. Whether you're an entrepreneur or you're employed, it doesn't matter. The more you develop and hone and craft your skills, the more value you can provide, the more you can earn. That is an ROI that keeps compounding. Okay. You will always get a return on betting on yourself. So make sure you're doing it and doing it every single day. Dave, what do you have on this?
Yeah, I mean, dude, spot on. I mean, I talked a little bit about that on Monday, but and where Jonathan's going, like starting from the beginning, right? Books, podcast. One thing I'll say about that's completely scalable. So when you're starting, okay, well, you might not be coming in with a big budget to do this stuff, right? So entry level stuff, books, $20, $30, YouTube videos are free, right? You start getting that return on yourself. Okay, what's next? What can I invest in more? Maybe it's 500, maybe it's 1,000. Okay, get an ROI on that. You can continually repeat the cycle until you get to that $15,000 coaching mark, right? As quick as you move determines how quick you get that ROI back and how quick you can scale up to that next level. It's always about time and time and time and time. Okay. One thing I'll add to this, and it's something that, even you and I touched, I think last week, that I told you about, I'm getting some coaching within my company, right? It's not for any more skill sets with credit or anything. I want to take it to the next level. I want to see from a company standpoint how to really bang this thing out. And another thing to invest in is find that person or trusted source within your industry, right? Not just the Andes and Eds, which are great because those guys are freaking amazing. But I don't sell supplements. Okay. I'm not in, although it's a tangible skill set to any business, right? But I want to structure my stuff similar to another credit company, one that is highly successful, right? Everything, if you look back hundreds of years ago, all these processes when it comes to business, it's pretty much all the same. It really hasn't changed much, right? So now for me, and listen, this isn't a knock on anything on Andy and Ed, right? Because they are awesome guys. But somebody in the credit space, I want another badass in the credit space. I want to see what they're doing. I want to see their SOPs. I want to see how they structure their team. What things do they bring in, what they hire for? How does a credit company that's multi 7-8 figure business, how do they operate? Right. So for me, that's what I'm looking at. Somebody in my industry that's running at a high level.
I'll give you, and I'm glad you mentioned people, right? Because the other thing that you can invest in without a big investment is people. Here's what I mean. You can invest in your relationships and you can invest in the people on your team like you're doing. The other thing that you mentioned that I really like is getting somebody in your industry, but here's one for you because I don't really want to mimic or copy anybody in my industry, right? I want and I look for similar industries that those companies are run by good people that are very, very successful. I'll give you 2 examples of this. What we do, financial services for businesses, right? Pretty generic, but at the end of the day, I can look at what banks are doing. Okay. I probably always will tend to do the opposite of what banks are doing. It works out better for my clients and better for me. I could look at what mortgage companies are doing. Or I'll give you a great example. I had a great conversation with Tyler McBroom over the weekend, and he showed me a couple of things that he was doing that I never thought of. All right. So there's an industry leading influencer in the accounting space. All right. So his clients are my ideal clients. How is he reaching it? What is he reaching? What platforms is he reaching them on? Okay. How much is he spending? What type of ads are they doing? So it's not just people. It's who can you learn from that is going to enhance what you're doing. You don't always have to look and copy your industry. You can copy other similar industries that target the same clients, because if they're having a very, very high success rate, you can learn and gain from that, right? And that doesn't cost anybody anything. Me and Tyler are partners. We send each other business. Like Dave, me and you are partners. We send each other business. I don't need, we obviously have a lot of overlap in clients. So invest in relationships. Or if you're an operator, you should be looking, everybody right now, if you are running a business, should be looking for joint ventures or partnerships that can help you grow and help you align to get more clients and deliver more value. And here's why. Because at the end of the day, those relationships, you're going to pay, but you're paying on success. So that means your cost per acquisition is going to be down. And when you're in tough and trying times like this, making those relationships, building those partnerships, okay, that's going to help propel you through challenging times. And then when times get better, you still have those deep-rooted relationships that are going to help you take you from, here to straight up. All right. These are some of the things that you guys should be thinking about, looking into. And if you do this on a consistent enough basis, it will compound over and over and over again, where you're not having 5% gains a year. You're having 10, 20, 30, maybe even 100. All right. That's the name of the game. How can you learn skill sets? Who can you learn them from? What rooms do you need to be in? And if you don't have the money for all of that, you can always reach out, figure out something you can do for that person to break the ice, right? That's how you build. And that's definitely how you guys should be focusing on building in a time like this. All right. Anything else, Dave? You got anything to add?
Yeah, man. I mean, a couple things. Number one, like give your time when you can. Like if you don't have anything to add, give as much as you can, even if you are at a certain level. Like we do a lot of free seminars, right? And I explain this to people when I'm creating new relationships. Hey, how can I help your people? And they give you that stink eye, like, oh, what's it going to cost? Like, listen, I'll do a seminar for you. It's free. Oh, okay. Let's talk now. And one interesting thing that I learned last night, there's a local networking group that I'm a part of here, or that I've been getting involved in more here. Guys, get involved with your local colleges, man. Like they need you more than you realize. And I had a very interesting conversation with She is now the head of the business department at Penn State Lehigh Valley, and very interesting conversation to help those kids. She flat out admitted it. Hey, I'm just the teacher here. I don't have the skill set for business, like for these kids, as somebody like you or your partners can come in and help these kids out. So these are the next generation coming up, man. If you can pour into that, guess what? They might understand something that, business is tough. It might not be all that it is, but I like this guy. I can be a part of his company, his culture, and help them out as well. So, man, you start thinking outside of the box too. There's a lot you can impact, and grow within your own community, right? To invest in yourself and your brand locally, like with these kids. So just wanted to touch on that.
Dude, I like it. I love it. All right, guys. Listen, you'll catch us on Mindset Monday. Do us a favor. Share this with someone that needs to hear it. Okay? Just share it. Comment on it. That's all we ask. We do it every Monday, every Friday. Appreciate you guys, and we'll catch you on the next one.
Be great, y'all.